A massive intentional famine is occurring in the Western world. Since 2020, over 100 food processing plants, grain silos, warehouses, and feed processing plants have been burnt to the ground. Tens of millions of cattle, hogs, chickens, and turkeys have also been culled. This is an intentional plan to starve the population, and it's only accelerating. You may have seen this video a week ago of several thousand cattle dead in a feedlot. I believe they were poisoned. The official explanation for all these dead cattle is that they had a heat stroke all at once. Now it's getting even worse. In the Netherlands, the government is now ordering farmers to cull 30% of their cattle. Dutch farmers protest government's strict nitrogen rules. Farmers are expected to reduce livestock numbers by 30%. Thousands of farmers gathered in a village near the center of the Netherlands on Wednesday to protest a government plan to curb nitrogen pollution. The protest in Stro, 70 kilometers east of Amsterdam, follows the introduction last week of targets for reducing population by harmful nitrogen compounds in some areas by up to 70% by 2030. This aligns perfectly with the Great Reset Agenda and Agenda 2030, the latest attempt to solve a problem that has plagued the country for years. Reductions are necessary in emissions of nitrogen oxides from farm animal manure and use of ammonia for fertilization, the government says. Nitrogen oxides in the atmosphere help form acid rain. No one's believed that crap for 50 years. While fertilizer washed into lakes can cause algae blooms that kill marine life. Farmers argue that the targets are poorly conceived and unfair. They are expected to lead to a 30% reduction in the number of Dutch livestock, with efforts more concentrated in agricultural areas bordering nature preserves. Quote, these reductions are so severe that those rural communities will be totally devastated economically, and that's the reason our farmers are going to Stro today, said Sander van Diepen, a spokesperson for agricultural organization LTO. The Netherlands is one of the world's largest agricultural exporters. High-intensity farming of cows, pigs, and other animals in the densely populated country has made it Europe's leading emitter of the substances. The government targets were intended to comply with ruling in 2018 by the European Court of Justice and in 2019 by the Netherlands Council of State that found that Dutch policies had failed to address the long-standing problem. Not only that, we also got news from Ukraine that grain exports are down 50% so far. Ukraine is the largest grain exporter in the world. This could cause starvation in Egypt, Africa, and other parts of the world that rely on grain exports. Here's some other news. 97 fires have destroyed or damaged U.S. food processing plants since Biden's quote-unquote election. Here's a small list. January 11th, 2021, fire destroyed 75,000 square foot processing plant in Fayetteville. Fire ignited inside Smithfield food pork processing plant. 3-alarm fire at Kellogg plant in Memphis. I'm just going to scroll down. Starting in March, massive culling of chickens and turkeys. 300,000 chickens destroyed at farm in Stoddard, Missouri. 915,000 chickens destroyed at egg farm in Taylor, Iowa. 5 million chickens destroyed at an egg farm in Buena Vista, Iowa. A massive list here. I'll put the link in the description below so you can check out all these fires and intentional culling of animals. But from this chart here, you can see the numbers of cullings and food processing plant fires has only gotten worse over time. You should be preparing by buying a year's worth of food if you can. Rice, beans, sugar, flour, etc. You need to prepare for an intentional famine in the Western world. I believe this is going to get much, much worse.